Wolverhampton Wanderers 2, Chelsea 1. And we absolutely bottled that. We had the fairly early lead, then missed chance after chance. We were actually cruising at 1-0, but then we conceded two ridiculous goals within a few minutes of each other to drop all 3 points. The usual problems: pressing awful, no movement, and passing as slow as bloody snails. To find out everything about the game as it happened and how Chelsea bottled that, make sure you watch all of this review. Hello there guys, and welcome back to 100% Chelsea from a review of the Wolves 2 Chelsea 1 game. And as you can maybe tell, I'm not happy. I'm really not pleased, because it's coming to a point now where these players are really testing my patience, and it's really starting to piss me off, some of it. I can't lie. But, let's get straight into the review. And starting off with the lineup, it was pretty close to what I predicted yesterday. Obviously 4-3-3, Kepa Arrizabalaga in goal. Three of the players in the back four did remain unchanged, but, it was Andreas Christensen that came into the side rather than Emerson or David Zappacosta. So it was Azpilicueta and Alonso as the two fullbacks, and then Christensen next to Antonio Rudiger as as one of the two centre-backs. Then a midfield three of Cesc Fabregas, N'Golo Conte and Ruben Loftus-Cheek actually started. And then a front three of Eden Hazard on the left, Willian on the right, and Alvaro Morata started up front. And we actually started, the game well. Good start to the game. And Hazard actually found himself with a very good chance just 6 minutes into the game after good play down the right, especially by, a good pass from Azpilicueta to Kante, who then ended up putting in a low cross into the box, past Morata, but actually to Hazard, inside the box with acres of space, completely unmarked. But then he completely bottled his finish and basically just passed it into, the Wolves keeper's hands. I don't know what he was trying to do. Was he trying to curl it into the far corner? But if you put that little pace on it, well, that's never going to go in. And that chance, was it off good chances for a good while? With the exception of a decent effort from Morata, they flew over the bar from, he took that shot from quite far out. Good piece of skill to give himself that chance. But, we were a better team, but we weren't in full control. As Wolves, they did have a few counterattacks, as usual, especially from our set pieces. Just no organisation when, we have set pieces and then they just hit us on counters every single time that happens, basically. They didn't get dangerous, but it was at least somewhat dangerous. In the 18th minute, we actually did make it 1-0 through Ruben Loftus-Cheek when he struck again, like I said, to make it 1-0. You could kind of say he just forced an own goal by Wolves captain Cody. But, Loftus-Cheek took the stride from outside the box. The effort was heading on target, but then took quite a heavy deflection off Cody's head and went in at the near post. The rule says, if the effort is going on target, even then if it takes strong deflection, it doesn't count as an own goal. And so it didn't officially. So it is, Ruben's sixth goal in his last 7 games, which, is good. But, with that result today, I can't be happy about that, to be honest. It is also another assist for Hazard, which is also decent. But yeah, yes, at the time it was great. At the time I was happy. Only a few minutes after taking that lead, Willian had a very good free kick saved by Rui Patricio, with an incredible, fingertip save to, just about tip the ball over the bar. Outstanding free kick by Willian. The ball was heading for the far top corner. Great stop, great effort, and even better stop, annoyingly. And, that goal, our goal, did give us more control of the game. But it didn't give us more chances, as the game did quiet down quite a lot after our goal and after that Willian chance. It didn't quiet down forever, but for around 10 minutes. But then it wasn't us that started to have chances. Now it was kind of Wolves that started to put some, pressure on us after, a few easy losses of possession and just an absolutely ridiculously major lack of pressing. Because instead of pressing, we just set off. Wolves had the ball at the halfway line. Our defenders and midfielders, all of them, were moving backwards slowly, and our attackers were all stood still. Actually, Morata was trying to run after the guy with the ball, but everyone else was moving backwards, who stood still. That's not how bloody pressing works. That's not what your manager is asking you to do, to move bloody backwards. I know we had Conte and Mourinho recently, but can we stop getting that shit out of our heads? Because it's not bloody working. Can we actually do what the manager is asking you to do? Can you actually start doing that? Because it's really testing my patience. It really is. Again, Wolves didn't really do much with it, except for one moment where Fabregas, fair play to him, properly switched on, put in a last-ditch tackle inside the box to clear. It wasn't a chance yet, but, had he not made that tackle, it would have been a great chance for Wolves. Shortly after that kind of almost dangerous moment for Wolves, we had a great chance to make it 2-0 for Willian again after a top class over the top ball by Hazard. Willian was through on goal, basically 1-on-1 with the keeper. Took way too long to make a decision. Also took a heavy touch in the first place, which kept the ball bouncing rather than, him running with it controlled. But yeah, it took way too long to make a decision. Could have possibly even squared it to either Hazard or Morata or Loftus-Cheek or whoever was there. I'm not even sure anymore. But, he could have just put it in the far bottom corner with his strong right foot. But no, his heavy touch had him have it on his left. He tried to then cut inside. Took way too long. Defender caught up and tackled him. Very nice tackle to clear it. And, basically in the second that Willian was about to shoot, the ball got cleared away from him. Took way too long, really should have made it 2-0. And that was then half-time. And at half-time, I thought that wasn't too bad. We had, let's say, 4 big chances, or, 3 big chances and scored from the one that actually wasn't a big chance. But, and they didn't really do anything. But again, it's the same problem. Not enough movement, quick passing not quick enough, and the pressing is just awful. So, we really should have been up by at least 2-0, before half-time. Willian, obviously you can't blame him for the free kick, but for the chance later on and Hazard's finish early on in the half really should have been better as well. And literally 30 seconds into the second half, we should have again made it 2-0. Well, arguably should have. A great attack by Willian, Morata, Loftus-Cheek and Hazard that ended with a low cross, across the 6-yard box by Hazard to Morata, who then was tackled basically as he was about to tap the ball over the line, from inside the box, 6-yard box. And Boli, whatever his name is, or however you pronounce it, Boli, did get a touch on the ball, I think. But even after a couple of replays, I wasn't sure whether he touched the ball first, whether he touched Morata first. However, he kind of cleared the ball as Morata was about to tap it in. Whether he caught Morata first or not, maybe it should have been a penalty, I'm not sure. I kind of found it a hard one to give against my team, so I'm not going to complain about it there. It's just one of those moments that, a striker that is Morata and Giroud, because he doesn't do much either, probably scores that. Doesn't get unlucky that guy clears it just before him or doesn't get a penalty. It wasn't a right position, would have scored, but it just doesn't happen for him. It just does not. I don't know what's going on. And it's not like just Morata. Like, how many strikers have we had that just cannot score to save their lives? It's not even incapability. It's just not happening. It's just not happening. I mean, moments later, Morata had another chance, this time with his head following a good cross path to Iqueta, and he couldn't keep his header down. But again, you can't even blame him for that. Because as he was in the air, it was shoved in the back. And obviously, then you're going to struggle to keep a header down. And it's one of those fouls that is never given inside the box, but basically always given outside of it. So, it's just not happening. It's just not happening. 10 minutes into the second half, another very good chance for Willian. Incredible long ball by Fabregas again over the top to Willian, like I said. Again, like in the first half, didn't take it down well at all and kept it bouncing on the floor. Had to take it on his weaker left foot, as he was closed down. If he had a better touch, probably could have, gone past the guys and had a shot with his stronger right foot, but he didn't, and like I said, had to go for the shot with his weaker left foot from outside of the box and completely blasted it over. Kante actually had a decent strike from well outside the box as well that only went narrowly wide off the far post, but it wasn't exactly threatening the keeper. And with all of those missed chances, the inevitable happened, and we conceded the equaliser with just under an hour gone. Not great in midfield. Again, lack of pressing. Then an easy through ball to Jimenez between Christensen and Alonso. And then the Spanish striker Raul Jimenez took the shot from a fairly tight angle with a lot of pace though, and put it in exactly that spot where the keeper doesn't want it. Right there where he's not sure whether to go for it with his hand or with his foot or leg or whatever. And Kappa did go for it with his hand, and the ball awkwardly ended up going, in underneath him. Probably should have gone for it with his foot. Probably should have saved it. Very disappointing. And only 3 minutes later, Willian, with a ridiculous loss of possession. First of all, what is he doing? Trying to run past players 20 yards from our goal, 25 maybe. And then he was got to get the tiniest of shoves. Never ever a foul. And he just stops, kind of requesting for a free kick by the referee. Obviously didn't give it. Willian still stopped. Wolves just played out wide to the right. Chelsea completely unorganised. Everyone all over the shop. And, Rudiger completely asleep. He was at the far post. Was asleep. Didn't run. And then Diogo Jota, was met by that low cross from the right-hand side. Diogo Jota on the left-hand side and just tapped it in to put them 2-0 up, 2-1 up, from close range. All over the place. Absolutely over the place. Ridiculous from Willian. Everyone, all over the shop. I understand we just conceded. But what are we doing? Like, what is that? If they scored equaliser, we can probably go on to win that game. But 2-1 down, the crowd is up for it. The players, the opponent's up for it. And that was basically, I had no confidence at all to get that we're going to get a draw, let alone the win from that point on. I mean, there was still almost half an hour to play. I had no confidence, zero, that we were going to turn that around. Absolutely. And I think that says enough about what we are doing at the moment. Straight after the second goal that we conceded, Willian was taken off for Pedro, and rightly so. And also Olivier Giroud came on for Morata. But, it didn't really do anything because we just didn't manage to take control of the game back for a good while. And, we just didn't manage to create any chances to turn the game around. With 50 minutes to go, Sarri clearly tried to at least turn the game around and brought Kovacic on for Kante, which obviously is a very attacking, substitution and something that I've kind of asked for in the past to do when we are, searching for a winner or a goal or two or whatever. But it did not change all that much, quite honestly. Wolves, after their substitution, understandably so, just sat back and we just couldn't do much with it. Hazard had a decent, shot after cutting inside and put it slightly over the bar. And only with a few minutes to go, Fabregas had actually a very good chance as a defensive header just fell right to him, just inside the box, but he put his effort over the bar. Fabregas is a weird one whenever he takes shots. Even when you see videos of him on YouTube when he does strange challenges or whatever that these players sometimes do, he always hits these things very strange. He never just blasts them. He always just tries to do something curly, fancy, chippy, whatever. It always looks like he's trying to play a triangle L1 pass on FIFA. That's all what he ever does. Whether he's trying to score, whether he's trying to pass, he always does the same thing. And it's annoying, especially when he puts it over the bar. Just fucking blast it. You're inside the box and there's a crowd of people in front of you. Just blast it. Get it on target and blast it. Maybe it takes a deflection, it goes in anyway. But, don't put it bloody over. What are you doing? And to be honest, that was then it at full time. 2-1 defeat. Second defeat in 3 games. Second defeat of the whole season, and it's just bloody disappointing because, to be honest, quite frankly, I don't have much confidence going into the City game on Saturday. I mean, maybe, but surprise myself. Chelsea will surprise me, but I very much doubt it. And like I said in the beginning already, we absolutely bottled that. Horrendous, or rather non-existent pressing until obviously Wolves took the lead. It was a little bit better after that, but before then it was just non-existent. It's just not a thing that we do, even though the manager is clearly asking the players to do it, but they're just not. And barely any movement by anyone, whether that is Hazard, whether that is Willian, or then Pedro, or Morata. Actually, Morata tried to move, but then whenever he gets the ball, he doesn't do anything with it, or because no one else moves, Morata is then left by himself, and what is he meant to do then? We all know that he's not going to do it Hazard and run past everyone. We all know that he's not capable of doing that, so someone should probably help him out, but no one does. And, Ruben was the best player that we had today. I thought the only player that was somewhat decent, not just the goal, but overall, he was the only one that actually played somewhat decent. Fabregas had some good balls and had that good tackle defensively, but then he had some other moments. Sloppy passes, same as Kante, sloppy passes, and then just not taking the right decisions. But generally, the main problem is just not passing the ball quick enough, which is obviously, like I said, plenty of times already this season, this last couple of weeks. The reason for passing not being quicker is not enough movement. But even then, even if the movement was better, it's not, a necessity that the passing is a lot quicker. But both of those things are not happening. And it's, like I said as well, it's just testing my patience a lot. It's been what now? A month? More than that? Ever since the last Burnley game. Ever since that Burnley game, the 4-0 win at Burnley, we haven't pressed, we haven't moved, and we haven't passed quickly enough. Ever since then. Not a single game we've done that. And it's bloody frustrating. And obviously, also, all of that was also not helped by horrific finishing. Because, even though we didn't do any of those things that I just talked about particularly well, we had plenty of chances. Hazard had the one early on. Willian had the one before half-time. Willian had a one in the second half. Morata had those 2, even though I don't think he can be blamed all too much for any of them. Then Fabregas had the one late on. So, we had the chances to easily score at least 3, if not 4 goals in that game. But we didn't. Instead, we let an easy through ball cut us open to concede the first, and then a certain someone decides to just stop running because, he just wants a free kick for the tiniest of shoves 20 yards away from his own goal. And, he doesn't get that free kick, rightly so, and we concede. Alonso, again, absolutely awful. Nothing better than he was against Fulham. Crossing, horrendous. Passing, horrendous. Slow, always so slow. Looks like he can't even run. It's not even like he's running slowly because he just isn't fast. Most of the time, it doesn't even look like he's running. It just looks like you're not even pressing the R2 button on FIFA. Do you know what I mean? It's horrendous. Why did you play today? Is he that tired or why is he not running? Because if he's that tired, good luck against City. Good luck against Mahrez and Sterling and Sané and, good luck against them lot. If he can't even run against Wolves. Why didn't someone like Emerson or Zappacosta play then if he's tired? If he's not tired, what is he doing? Why is he not running? Because, I know he's slow, but he's not that slow, usually. So, it's horrendous. Like I said already, from the midfielders and attackers, Loftus-Cheek was the only one who was somewhat decent. Not just for the goal, like I said, but, it's really pissing me off. And to be honest, I don't know what else to say. I might be slightly overreacting, but if you want to finish top 4, you just can't lose away at Wolves. You cannot. You cannot. I know Tottenham got very lucky to beat Wolves a few weeks ago, but they still beat them. And we didn't Obviously, don't think the ref helped us a lot today either. It was all over the shop. The crowd was a mess. Like, they were criticising every decision, whether it was for them, whether it was against them. I'm not going to continue on about the ref and the crowd. No, we were just not good enough. We bottled it, and I'm not happy. I mean, leave me all of your thoughts on the game down in the comment section below. Leave a like if you did enjoy this video. Kind of a rant, you know. I'm not going to title it a rant because I don't want to. But, you know, if you kind of enjoyed it, leave a like. You know, I'd appreciate that. Follow me on my social media. If you wouldn't mind, it's, you know, you can see it over here, Last1507 on both Instagram and Twitter. And also, they're down in the description, the links to them, so if you could follow me there, I would absolutely love that. Of course, it is YouTube, so if you haven't already, do make sure you subscribe to 100% Chelsea. If you haven't already, said that twice, who cares? And also, don't forget to press the notification bell button and choose to be notified about all uploads, so you don't miss any for future videos. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Up to Chelsea. It's always upwards and onwards. And I'll see you next time.